Hola amigos, ¿qué tal? I hope everybody is well today, Sunday. Good to see you there. We've got a fair bit of a chat. We've got a fair bit happening in the chat section already. A few chats coming in. Good to see. Don't forget that the idea of these videos is for you to participate in the chat section, and the more activity, the better there. Thank you very much for that. And if you want to highlight your comments, remember you can use the super chat or super sticker option, completely up to you. Now today we're going to have a look at some of the stories that have caught my attention over the weekend, 2 or 3 stories, and then we'll have a look at some of the comments that were left on Friday's video. Quite a few comments left on Friday's video, so we'll take a look at some of those, and also we will see some of the chats happening here on the right of the screen. Now let me know what the sound is like. I think it might be a little bit too loud. Let me know if that is the case and I will switch microphones. But if the sound is okay, please let me know. So a bit of action happening here in the chat. We've got Carol, we've got Canadian World War II reenactor, we've got Amanda, we've got Gino, we've got Duluth, we've got Lou Cheers, and we've got High Mountains. Now I think the sound is a bit loud, so I'm going to swap microphones. Just give me 1 minute. And I'll bring this one in because I think it's going to be better with this one. The other one was a bit too loud. I was getting red marks on the soundbar. So I'll change over to this one here. So, hope everybody is well. Everybody in the comment section, get those comments coming through, and we'll get straight into the news today. Now, the first thing I'm going to look at today relates to Spanish companies and their business dealings in Russia. So, we'll have a look at the first article here. Inditex closes its 502 shops in Russia temporarily due to the war. Inditex withdraws from Russia, its largest market after Spain. The textile company has informed this Saturday that in the current circumstances, it cannot guarantee the continuity of operations and commercial conditions in the Russian Federation, and temporarily suspends its activity in the 502 shops, of which 86 are Zara, and in the online channel in the country. Russia accounts for around 8.5% of the group's global EBIT, which is earnings before tax, I think, or earnings before income and tax, I think, a share that has been increasing in recent times. So Russia for the Inditex group. Remember that the Inditex group is the chain Zara, Maximo Dutti, I think, Pull and Bear, various other ones. Can't remember all of them. Perhaps let me know in the chat section if I've missed a couple there. Quite a few shops in this chain. Zara Home, I think, is another one, and they've decided to pull out of that Russian market, or suspend temporarily, I think is a better way to express what they are doing there. 8.5% of their earnings coming from Russia, so a big chunk of their income going to be lost this year while those shops are closed. Now we'll have a look at some comments coming through here. Sound is perfect, so thank you very much for that. I changed microphones because I saw that the red marks on my microphone reading here, so it was a little bit too loud. So I've changed to the broadcast mic, so hopefully everything is well there. Lou says here, hello from Merseyside. Hello from Merseyside there in the UK. Liverpool, I believe. A few other comments coming in. Pennsylvania, Ireland. So we've got people all around the world today. Bexley Heath and Swanley, there we go, people coming in from all over the world. Orange County, California, so we've got people coming in from the States as well. Now going back to what we just saw, Inditex obviously trying to put pressure on Russia by closing those stores down, and that's basically what other Western countries are doing at the moment, other European countries, United States companies, Canadian companies, I imagine, shutting their shops, trying to put pressure on Russia economically, so that they withdraw from Ukraine. I think that's the idea. Don't know whether it's going to be successful or not. Time will tell. But that international pressure being put on by big retail giant Inditex. I saw today that MasterCard and Visa had also suspended operations in Russia. Swift, I think, has been cancelled as well. Different ways of moving money around. Not good. One here. Rosie says, turn the sound up, please. Stuart, Rosie, I can't turn the sound up anymore. You have to turn your sound up at your end. It's difficult for me to do it, but I think the majority of you can hear people saying that it should be okay. All right, El Sonido Perfecto, says Patrick. Thank you very much. Rachel coming in from Dale, Texas. Denise from Palma de Mallorca. So we've got plenty of action in the comment section. Keep it coming. 150 people watching live at the moment. Good to see you all. And as I said before, ¿qué tal? I hope you've had a good weekend. Now, the second piece of news we're going to look at today relates to the south of Spain and Portugal. Apparently, they're going to become Europe's economic reference, according to the President or Premier of Andalusia, Juanma Moreno. The south of Portugal and the south of Spain will be the economic reference of Europe in the next 30 years due to the climate and geostrategic positions. And in this context, we want to value everything that we have that is positive, highlighted the President of that regional government, Juan Manuel Moreno. What we want is to add technology, innovation, and avant-garde to the natural talent that exists in Alentejo, Algarve, Andalusia to produce on a European scale, he said. So some upbeat words there from Andalusia Premier Mr. Moreno, saying that Portugal and the south of Spain to become Europe's economic reference. And about time, because one of the things that has been a bit slow in a lot of parts of Andalusia, especially and the south of Portugal, is that economic activity. Apparently it's starting to change in some places. We had a conversation with Ivan. Was it Ivan or was it Nick? I can't remember exactly who it was with, but a few weeks ago, and they said that Malaga, for example, is becoming a tech hub down there in Andalusia. A few innovation companies, tech companies, opening up in that part of the world, and the economy getting better as a result of those international companies coming in. So I don't know whether Andalusia or the south of Spain and Portugal will become that economic reference that Mr. Moreno wants. Obviously, politicians, we know, can sometimes be full of a lot of hot air, and that's definitely the case, I imagine, of Mr. Moreno, because he was in Portugal giving a speech, and obviously those are things that people want to hear, telling people that the economy will improve and you will become the economic engine of Spain. Don't know. We will wait and see. Brian says, audio loud and clear. Thank you very much, Brian. I think it is okay. As I said, I can check my sound up there at the top and it looks okay at the moment, but sound is a work in progress on this channel because I'm using a new system here to go live and also with the videos that I record, and the sound quality has been a bit off in recent times, but hopefully it is better now. Now, let's have a look at some more chats that are coming in. One here from Kathleen. I can't go through them all because they're coming in thick and fast as they normally do, so I'll put this one on the screen here from Kathleen. Hi Stu, coming to Spain on the 21st of May. Looking forward to it. Best wishes from St Andrews in Scotland, the home of golf as it is called. Yes, Kathleen, I'm aware that St Andrews is the home of golf. That is one of the best courses in the world, or one of the most difficult courses, I think, in the world, the St Andrews Golf Course. A few British Opens have been held there over the years. And if you like golf, St Andrews, as you said, is the home of golf. We spoke about it a few weeks ago. Golf in Spain, very popular with the tourists that come here, but not so popular amongst the locals. Getting more popular in some places, in Madrid, big cities, Barcelona maybe as well. Maybe in Malaga there's a few locals playing golf, or a few more than there were before. But historically, golf has not been the most popular sport in this country, not like it is in some other countries around the world. All right, more comments coming in. Angela from Ireland. Cold in Ireland at the moment. Cold here as well. Angela, unfortunately, it only got up to about 12 degrees Celsius today, so quite cold, a little bit windy. We were able to have lunch outside yesterday, so that was positive. But rain forecast for tomorrow and Tuesday, I think, and also later in the week. So we're getting that rain that we haven't had up until now. So that's positive as far as the dams are concerned. And maybe we'll get a bit of a green tinge to the landscape because it's a little bit dry at the moment. Iggy from Andalusia. Hello, Iggy. How are you? Miguel Morales is moving to Portugal. Let me have a look at this question here. Do you consider it better than Spain these days for retirement? Well, that's a good question, Miguel. Spain or Portugal? It's a question that I'm sure a lot of people are weighing up. Where do you retire to? Do you retire to Spain? Do you retire to Portugal? It all depends on your personal situation. It depends on your tax situation, and it also depends on how easy it is to get residency in either one country or the other. If you are a European citizen, no problems. You can move fairly easily to both. But people are telling me that Portugal is a little bit better when it comes to the tax situation for foreign residents. And if you're retired, I imagine that is going to be something important. And I think even the amount of money that they ask you for in Portugal that you have to prove that you have every month in Portugal is less than it is in Spain. So that's another thing that is in Portugal's favour as well. Difficult to get that Mediterranean weather in Portugal. Maybe if you're down south in the Algarve, you can get a taste of it, but you're not going to get a climate in Portugal similar to Alicante, Malaga, places like that. So if weather's something that's important, maybe Spain. But Portugal, for me, it's one of my favourite countries, and I try to get there whenever I can. I go there on holidays, of course, sometimes a little bit, long extended holidays. I like Portugal. I like the lifestyle. I like the coast there. I like the weather. So for me, Portugal ticks all the boxes. But again, Miguel, there's a lot of things that you need to take into consideration. So 50-50 at the moment, I would say. 50-50, I would say. But anyway, now let's move on. We'll look at the final piece of news today. Spain Holidays 2022. Irish tourists warned of clever bird poo scam after arrests in Costa del Sol. Now, let's have a look at this one. There we go. Irish tourists planning to holiday in Spain this year are being warned about a clever new scam that's catching people out. Spanish police arrested two men, aged 54 and 60, on Thursday in connection with the con. They are accused of 6 instances of theft and 5 cases of fraud and were caught in Benalmádena, a resort on the Costa del Sol that's popular with Irish holidaymakers. It is understood that the pair stole bank cards and money after targeting elderly people and tourists in what's being dubbed as a bird poo scam. The alleged scam sees someone throw liquid on the back of a victim's clothes. The perpetrator tells the person they have bird poo on them and offers to help them clean up. However, during an exaggerated wipe down, the culprit steals wallets, bank cards, and other valuables. There we go. Beware of some of the scams in Spain. And this is apparently a new one, or it is for me anyway, a new one. Maybe it's been around for a while. The bird poo scam down there in Benalmádena in Andalusia, catching Irish tourists out. And apparently, reading more of that article, at the moment, Irish holidays to Spain are on the increase. So lots of Irish people looking to take their holidays down here in coming months. But again, be careful of those scams. Now, let's have a look. We've got a super chat here from Richard. So we'll put his comment here on the screen. Thank you very much for that, Richard. Greatly appreciated this super chats, and always a priority in the comments. Richard, do you recommend Segovia? We're going there before we fly out of Madrid in June at the end of our holiday. Segovia, yes, it is a magnificent city from a historical point of view, Richard, okay? Not necessarily for living, I don't think, because it's a small city. It's very cold in winter, hot in summer. It's a typical Castilian city, and it gets very, very crowded with tourists. I know a few people from Segovia. They live here in Madrid because of the work situation in Segovia, but they spend every weekend in that part of the world. And like I said, from a historical point of view, fantastic city. Roman ruins and actually Roman construction still in place. The aqueduct is one of the big things there that I definitely recommend people see. And the cuisine in that part of the world, if you like meat, is very, very good. They have the suckling roast pig, if you like pork, and they also have baby lamb is very popular there as well. I say baby lamb because it's a very small lamb when it's killed. If you like that, you will love Segovian cuisine, but definitely recommended for a stay over, maybe 2 days max. Not a big city, so you can see everything fairly quickly, But again, from a historical point of view, one of the better ones in Castilla y León. And in Castilla y León, there's lots of places to see. Segovia, definitely one of those. Very close to Madrid as well. You can be there in less than an hour on the fast train. Only downside is that the train station in Segovia is on the outskirts of the city, so you have to catch a taxi into the center. But definitely recommend Segovia from a tourist point of view. To live, don't know. Some people that I have met in the past have lived in Segovia. They do enjoy it because they like having access to the mountains very quickly and things like that. But for me, it's a little bit too cold. In fact, one day in Segovia, it was the coldest that I've ever been in Spain. My nose froze. It was that cold wind, freezing temperature. So don't know whether I'd recommend it for living, but definitely for a few days in Segovia, Richard. Now let's have a look at a comment that was left on a video the other day. Plenty of chats coming through. I'll go through some of those in a minute. Let's have a look at a chat. Let me see if I can find it here. George, just to add, referring to the plants, that Madrid is 600 to 700 meters in altitude, and this will also restrict some types of plants. Now, we had this discussion the other day. Somebody asked what type of flora is typical in Madrid, and I said there's various types of trees, cherry blossoms, almond trees, pine trees, quite popular. Acacias, I think they're called, also quite popular. The local tree, the symbol of Madrid, is a madroño. Not sure what that is in English, but that's also a fairly common tree in some parts of the Madrid community. Around here, not a lot of variety because they plant the same trees in the streets. Cherry blossoms are the most popular, the ones that you see now in flower. Very, very popular tree in this part of the world. And that the commenter was right there when he said that Madrid is 700 meters above sea level, so that also does add to the difficulty when it comes to growing certain types of plants in this part of the world. And it's very dry, which is a characteristic of Madrid. Very low humidity, very dry, and it's not like those moist, humid places down there on the coast where things seem to grow very, very well. In Alicante, you see fantastic greenery, in Andalusia as well, but in this part of Spain, in the Castillas, very dry climate, hot in the summer, cold in the winter, not easy for plants to grow. That's my personal experience having a garden in this part of the world. Not easy to grow things. Now we've got some more comments coming through. Plenty of activity happening in the comment section. Good to see. Let's keep it going. The more active we are there, the better. I'll just go back and see if I can find one here. Yeah, plenty of comments coming in. Can't find anyone here. Your take. Okay. One here about the Russian-Ukraine situation on the Spanish economy and cost of living. Reshma. Thanks for the comment, Reshma. My take on this. Well, I think every European country is going to be affected in some way, shape or form. We know that inflation is the big problem at the moment, 7.4% at the moment. Of course, that has little to do with the war at the moment or with the situation in Russia and Ukraine. And 7.4% currently, and we're going to have to wait and see what it's going to be in March. It could go up to 8-9%. I don't know. And if that is the case, then obviously the economy here is going to suffer as a result. The government has already basically given up on recovering to pre-COVID economy figures. The idea was that that was going to happen this year. I think every other European country in the European Union has recovered to pre-COVID figures, but Spain has not. And the idea was that all of this money coming into Spain from the European Union was going to stimulate the economy and try to get it back to those 2019 figures or early 2020 figures. Not the case, unfortunately, and of course the war in that part of the world is only going to make the situation worse, and the government is, as I said, has admitted that they're not going to reach the targets that they were expecting, basically because of the inflation rates, which, as we know, you wake up every day and you are 7 or 8% poorer than you were at the same time last year. So not good there. So to answer the question, Rashish, I think it was, let me check. Let me have a quick look at the comment. Reshma, yeah, they're not good for the economy this year and not good for the cost of living with those high inflation rates, because we are noticing huge increases when it comes to petrol, fuel, which is the same everywhere at the moment. I mean, there's no country in the world, I don't think, that is not affected by this. Maybe if you have oil, you're not affected, but if you depend on oil from elsewhere, you are. And basically it's 20 or 30 euros more to fill up the tank at the moment here in Spain, as it is in other places. And in some parts of the country, the premium fuels are topping the €2 mark for the first time ever. So not good. Now some comments coming in. Dirk here says, very wet in Villajoyosa. Yeah, going to be wet here in Madrid also, but we need the rain, Dirk. We need the rain, so we can't be complaining about that at the moment. What else we got coming in here? Namibia, Il Buzzo's coming in from Namibia, so we've got a Southern African viewer. Thank you very much for the chats here. Now we'll have a look at another comment. Let me see if I can find it. One here from Ian. Hope the sent equipment isn't mouldy like the German junk that the Durans reported on. Now, I don't know what the Durans is, so I can't really comment on that because I haven't seen what they reported on. But I did read a few articles that Germans have sent old military equipment to Ukraine. And I don't know whether Spain is sending old material or new material. To be honest, I have no idea. We saw the Prime Minister the other day backflip on his original decision. He said he wasn't going to send material directly, but they ended up doing it. I think the first shipment went out on Friday, the second one on Saturday, and I think there's more to come. And apparently they're easy-to-use weapons, whatever that means. But they're not calling them weapons. They're calling it offensive material or something like that. Offensive in the sense that you're able to attack with it, not that it's going to create offense to anybody. Now, that's the situation. So we hope that it's not old material, but it's also very controversial here in Spain, the sending of this material, because basically it's split the coalition government, Podemos and the PSOE. They can't agree on this, and even Podemos has split at the moment because people are in favour of it and some people are not. My dog's barking in the background. Hopefully the noise is not coming through. Now we'll have a look at another comment here. John says, I've had numerous cases of vandalism on my car parked in the street. Tyre slashed, rear mirror torn, rear light smashed in, part of the side keyed, and the windshield wipers stolen. Yeah, who the hell wants used windshield wipers? Yeah, that's exactly right, John. Who the hell wants those? Why would they steal them off your car? This is because my tyre got slashed the other day. It was a very expensive activity, my tyre being slashed. It ended up costing me over €250 to get 2 new tyres put on the car. Excuse me. So a very expensive act for me of vandalism. And John there saying that he's had numerous problems with vandalism to his car over the years. I'll just check the comment again. Rear light smashed in. Mirror torn, part of the side keyed. Yeah, all of those things are common problems here as well. Keying is especially a problem. You see a lot of cars get keyed. First time I've ever had my tyre slashed. You do see a lot of rear vision mirrors getting smashed as people walk past or getting knocked off, sometimes by cars that are going past too close. So that's a problem as well. And I think my tyre slashing was an act of vandalism because there were other problems in the street that same day. Street signs were pushed over. A couple of other things were broken in the area. So vandalism at the moment, a problem here in this particular area. And it's a problem everywhere, I suppose. And if you park your car on the street, which is what I unfortunately did, you sometimes have to pay the consequences, unfortunately. So not good there. All right, let's have a look. Question here from Richard. I'll put this one up on the screen here. It's about masks. Has anyone heard of when the masks indoor rules ends in Spain? Well, Richard, the Prime Minister said something yesterday, apparently, or maybe on Friday. He said very soon. He didn't give an exact date when it's going to go away. As we know, in some other countries, it's completely gone. It's a pure personal choice at the moment if you want to wear a mask indoors or not. Here in Spain, that is not the case still. You have to put it on. You are obliged to wear a mask if you go into any public space, even though now you do see people walking around with the mask pulled down under their chin in shopping centres. I noticed that the other day. So people are becoming more relaxed, but the Prime Minister the other day said that in the near future, but no exact date given. And I'll talk about that a little bit more in the news tomorrow. But that's it. So not far away. I imagine that it's going to be when the weather starts to get a little bit better, when the spring weather sets in and we get closer to summer. I imagine that they will take that rule away, indoors, public transport and things like that. And it will be purely personal choice if you want to wear a mask or not. All right, more chat comments coming in here. Let's have a look if we can find one here. We've got one from Diablo. We'll put this one up here. Have you ever considered doing a video on your production process? I see you are a Mac user. Yes, Diablo, I am a Mac user. I've been using Mac since 2009. So I was a Windows user before that. Started using a Mac and never went back. Because I'm very happy with the Mac system and the software that is associated with Mac. And the program that I'm using here is a purely Mac program, so it works very well on the system. And that's what I find, Diablo, that the Mac apps and the Mac programs, the ones that are specifically for the Mac operating system, do work very well. And one thing that is a key to me is that I don't know whether Windows computers still crash a lot, but back in the day, they crashed a lot, and I've never had that problem with a Mac personally. So that is why I use Macs. So thanks for your comment there, Diablo. Now, let's have a look at one more comment here. Finally, we're 27-minute mark, so a few more minutes. We'll have a look at this one here. Bernard. Great news, Spain can supply 40% of EU gas supply. However, I don't think I would rely on it or invest in it. Yeah, so this is a hot topic at the moment, Bernard, that the European Union is looking ways to take dependence off Russian gas and oil. And Spain the other day said that they have a report saying that they could provide up to 40% of European gas needs or European Union gas needs. So I don't know much about this other than what I read the other day, but apparently the report goes back to 2014 when there was a problem in that part of the world then, and the Spanish government wrote up a plan saying that if need be, they could come up with 40% of gas supply to Europe, obviously pumping it in through France there, because Spain gets its gas from Algeria, I think. It used to get gas from Morocco and Algeria, now only Algeria. And obviously they have the infrastructure in place to pump the gas into countries like France, and maybe from there it can go on into other countries. I have no idea. But the European Union at the moment scrambling to take its dependence off those Russian energy sources. Probably a little bit late, but the European President, Ms. von der Leyen, was in Spain on Friday again, meeting Pedro Sanchez, and they spoke about this. And I think they see Spain as a key partner in this new energy supply. So we'll see. Now, we'll just have a quick look here at a couple of comments before we finish up. There's plenty of chats coming in here, so it's difficult to find anyone here that sort of stands out. Let me have a look. Dog's going crazy because somebody's just rung the doorbell. Let me see. There was a chat here going on about salaries here in Spain. What do we got here? Chrissy says, in Salah, rain is forecast as well. Petrol is now at 173.90. Very expensive there, Chrissy. We'll put that comment up on the screen so people can see it. Local petrol prices, 173.90. Very expensive. Probably be hitting the €2 mark soon, Chrissy. So watch out for that. Juvenil's dad, let's have a look. Went to an indoor event yesterday. Only those who chose to wear masks. The change in regulation will probably follow actual behaviour. Thanks, Juvenil's dad. Don't know where you are, if that is Spain or another part of the world, but as I said, here in Spain, we're definitely seeing a change in mentality when it comes to wearing masks. my local son's football games as well. You can see 2 or 3 parents out of 10 not wearing masks now. So people obviously relaxing the mask rule. So we'll see if it goes away for good or whether it comes back next winter. I have no idea. That could be the case. So I'm going to start to wrap today's live show up. Thank you very much for participation, everybody, in the chat section. There was plenty of chats coming through. I'll just run by and see that I didn't miss any super chats. I think there was only one today. So thank you very much for that. And good to see people from all over the globe participating in these live sessions. And as I said, I hope the sound was okay. Hope the video quality is okay. And hopefully I have perfected this now and we can get 2 or 3 live sessions put out every week. So I'll start to say goodbye. Been a pleasure as usual talking to you all today. And thanks for your participation in the chat. I'll see you in tomorrow's video, although it won't be live tomorrow. It'll just be a normal recorded video, and maybe we can do another live session next week. And I'm trying to work out a way to let people know about the live sessions, and I think the only way to do that is to release a video 2 or 3 hours before, telling people that I'm going live at 7:30 or 7 p.m. So that's what I'll do in future so that people know that I am going live. So good speaking to you all today. Have a good rest of the Sunday. And I'll see you all tomorrow. Hasta luego.